Say hello to your new dance teacher. Let me catch my breath. This is really hard. If I start to look like I'm sweating, well, that's 'cause I am. I'm not good with words, but that's nothing new. Still, I have to try to explain what I want to do with you. With you. Run away with me. Let me be your ride out of town. Let me be the place that you hide. We can make our lives on the go. Hi guys, it's Jordan Jonas Sparks. Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, welcome. Please make sure to hit that juicy red subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let's hop right into it. So I'm extremely excited to film this video because I finally decided let's go forward with it, you guys. I'm going to be sharing all that I know about dancing, all of the reasons that I dance, and basically every single trick and tip that I can share with you guys so that I can help you guys with your dancing, or either get you guys started dancing, or just inspire you to watch more dance, to fall in love with dance, anything like that. So basically, I've been deliberating whether I wanted to go forward with this idea and make a whole bunch of dance videos for my channel. And I did do some tutorials and dance videos in the past, and they didn't really do well. But you know what? I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do now and share with you guys what I think is most valuable, and I just think that I didn't approach those videos the right way in the past. So, basically in this series of videos, who knows where this is going to go or what I'm going to end up doing with it, but I want to share with you guys my world of dance and the entire world of dance and just get you guys initiated. And I at first was thinking, you know what? I don't want to bore my audience by talking about dance when they're not all going to be interested in it. But to me, it's like sharing a religion that you preach. Like, I honestly believe that everybody should dance. Should everybody be on stage dancing in pointe shoes, doing a classical ballet, or trying to be in a music video? No, of course not. Not everybody wants to do that. But what I do think is that every single human being, no matter who you are, what race you are, what interests you have, where you are from, whether you are 96 years old or you are 2 years old, whether you are a Olympic swimmer or you are physically disabled, maybe you're even a quadriplegic, you can only move certain parts of your body, maybe your neck and above, you can dance too. And I honestly think that everybody should dance. And no matter what part of your body you can move or you can't move, or you know what? Everybody should dance. So it just doesn't matter. And I honestly think that there are benefits for everybody, whether they are physical, they are psychological, whether it's therapeutic, things like that. So I want to share all of those things with you guys. I want to share dance as a form of therapy. I want to share dance as a form of exercise, as a form of art and expression, and all of those things are totally doable. So I hope that thus far some of you guys feel inspired to either start dancing or to hear a little bit more as to why I think you all should dance. So basically, I will get into my story. I always wanted to be a dancer. I always found dancing so fascinating. Like, I was maybe 2 or 3 years old when I saw classical ballerinas dancing on television for the first time in like their all pink tutus and their pointe shoes, and these guys that looked like Disney princes would come in and throw them into the air and do magical things, and I was like, oh my god, that's me. I want to do that when I grow up. And so I asked my parents if I could be in dance. I remember I was like 3 years old. I wanted to be in ballet, but I grew up like well below the poverty line, and I could not dance because my parents could not afford to put me in dance. And I was in love with gymnastics as well, and I was in love with figure skating. Like, I used to watch Elvis Stoiko. He used to perform at the Olympics back in the day, and I don't know if you guys would know who Elvis Stoiko is, but when I was really, really little, he would perform figure skating, and he was like this absolute miracle to have on the ice, and I was so inspired to dance because of him. And I used to watch the Olympic gymnasts, and I was like, wow, it's all so cool. Like, I didn't want to be doing like the pommel horse or all those other gymnastic things, but I wanted to do like all these beautiful, elegant gymnastic tricks. And so I've always been inspired by dance. But I never really got to start dancing until I was 19. So my entire life, I was like, I want to dance. I love dance so much. But it was like maybe when I was around 12 years old, I remember having this moment when I thought to myself, you know what? It's too late. That dream has to sail. You have to let go of that. You have to move on. And that's not true. But I really, really believed that at 12 years old, that I was too old to start dancing, that I was too old to embrace this new sport, this new art. And, gymnastics is more of a sport. I don't consider dance a sport. I would actually consider dance a physical art, if you're curious. But anyways, 12 years old, I had like solidified this belief that I was too old to dance. And from there on, I just started focusing on my academics. I was like, okay, I'll do something else. And it wasn't until I was like 18 years old and I was graduating from high school, and I had a scholarship to go to the University of Alberta and start my Bachelor of Science in Dentistry. I was a straight A student, and I decided, you know what? This isn't making me happy. I don't know if this is ever going to make me happy, but I'm going to take a year, and I'm just going to follow my heart for a year, and I'm going to see what happens. And if that doesn't work out, then I can always go back to university. I can always take that route later. So what if I don't have like a scholarship? I need to do what's right for my soul at this point. And so I went, and I was blessed to find a performing arts program that was like a preparatory program for people that may or may not have any experience in anything arts-wise. So I signed up for this program, I got extremely excited, and I moved across the country to Ontario to take this performing arts program. And so with absolutely no dance experience, I got to start dancing at 19 years old, and it was the most basic of things. We spent a lot of time like laying on the floor and doing stretches and just like getting into our body and learning about posture. And I started to think, this is not what dancing is all about. Like, this is not what I pictured. I thought that I was going to go to a dance class and we would wear fun costumes and we would be doing fun tricks and all of this fun stuff. And you can get there and you can do that. But the important thing when you're starting dance is that you need to work on a foundation, and you need to understand your body, and you need to understand why you dance. And there's just so much respect that you learn about the art form by taking that fundamental time to work on the fundamentals instead of just diving in and going right to the glamorous side of dancing, like performing on stage or all of the costuming or all of those things. So yeah, I started dancing at 19. I didn't believe that I could start dancing at 19. I lived in a very small community, or several very small communities, my entire life, and not only were there no guys that danced, I didn't see any guys around me that danced, so I always thought, this has got to be a pipe dream. But nobody ever started dancing past like 3 years old. If you didn't start at 3 years old, you just didn't dance. And so I always had this reality that I was living in where my dreams could not come true and I could not follow my heart. And so I really am inspired to make this series to tell you guys that no matter what age you are, no matter what your physical capabilities are, you can start dancing now. And whether you even have a passion to dance, if you do, then you should definitely start dancing, because following that passion, starting to express yourself, like nothing feels more amazing than diving into the art of dance and opening up that channel and opening up those new experiences for yourself. But if you haven't started dancing, just think of it this way. You're now going to be able to find an art and an exercise Like for me, I know that going to the gym has always been a chore. I never wanted to go stand around and feel insecure and lift weights. But then when I found dancing, I realized that I would be out of breath and sweating profusely and getting a super good workout and being so sore the next day, and my body was starting to look better and I was starting to feel better, and I was having so much fun with it. And so whether you're doing ballet or jazz or gymnastics, it doesn't really matter. Just getting to the class, that's the hardest part. Getting out of your house, getting out of your apartment, going to a dance class, or maybe even just turning on a video here on YouTube and deciding to follow along, or deciding to dance in your living room. Making that decision and getting in motion, that's the hardest part. But it's just like so rewarding, and it's just going to be the most fun way to exercise and to get in shape, in my opinion. And so I continued to dance from that first year of college. I decided, you know what, maybe these dreams of mine that I shut down, that I closed all the doors to, maybe I could just open all those doors back up and open up all the deadlocks and open up all the windows and jump, like literally jump headfirst in. So I decided to go into a musical theater program. I started dancing really intensely, like 7 days a week, and I fell in love. But I also felt all of these insecurities of, I have to catch up with all of these people that have been dancing for like 10, 20 years if I want to be a performer. But I never let that make my love of dance die. And I decided one day, I remember having this decision that I was like, I am choosing to be in a relationship with the dance and a relationship with myself. And it was in that moment that I no longer felt all of the body insecurities that I used to have. I started to feel a lot more whole as a person. It's like I claimed my identity. I am going to commit to being a dancer. And then I started seeing my body in a whole new way as being an instrument to allow me to dance and an instrument of expression, instead of looking in the mirror and seeing myself as like not good enough, not attractive enough, not worthy enough to be in a relationship, not worthy enough to be good looking, or any of these things that really don't matter. But when I started looking in the mirror and seeing my body as an instrument of expression and as the physical package that is going to carry around my soul, then that is when I started to feel a lot better in my own skin and a lot more grounded and things like that. And I think that everybody will have that moment when they are doing any kind of physical art, but especially through dancing. And so some people may struggle with the opposite of that, and maybe you're always thinking that you are overweight or that you're too big or anything like that, or a lot of people struggle with when they're dancing, thinking they need to be thin. And I just want to be here to encourage you guys that literally, like I said, no matter what physicality, no matter what you look like, that you are worthy enough to dance, and that you should dance, and that you deserve to dance. And it doesn't matter what you look like. Dancing is a way of expressing your soul and expressing who you are and expressing what you feel, or sharing your gifts with the world, sharing your ideas, just sharing your stories. Any of those things can be done through dance. And none of those things say that you need to be a skinny little blonde girl that can do 8 turns. Like that, none of that matters. And so I just want to encourage you guys all to start dancing. And I have now been dancing since I was 19. I am 28. That is almost 10 years. So next year it will be 10 years. I think this fall, no, it'll be the fall after this fall. It will be 10 years dancing. And I have all of this information and all of this passion to share with you guys. So far this video has been all of the passion and why I think everybody should dance and sharing my story. But in the upcoming videos, I do want to share with you guys all of my technical tips. And basically, I'm going to be keeping this channel somewhat directed towards contemporary jazz and contemporary lyrical dancing, just because that is what I am most passionate, and that is where my strengths lie. And specifically, lots and lots of information I'm going to be giving you guys on turns and turning, because that is where my absolute passions and strengths lie. Like, that is what I practiced day in and day out for like 5 years, because I was so passionate about it. And we might touch a little bit on some acrobatics, or how to incorporate some acrobatics and inversions that would be founded in yoga. We might talk about how to implement those into your dancing and stuff like that. But we're first going to just start out with the basics and start out by making everybody feel like they have a place in the dance community and that they can dance. And then, yeah, I would love to share all of my tips and tricks on how to do turns, how to become way more flexible, because flexibility is another passion of mine, and how to be graceful, how to learn muscle memory, and anything that you guys want. Definitely let me know in the comments, and I will try and help you guys learn any of these things. If you've been watching me forever and you're just wondering like how I've done any specific steps or anything that you may have seen in any of my dance videos in the past, definitely let me know and I will try and give you guys the answers. And I think that is it for this video. I did want to share one more thing with you guys. It is one of my hugest dreams that I could found a non-profit dance competition circuit. And the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I have never competed in a competition. I've never been to competition or danced a solo. I've only been in musicals and I taught dance. When I graduated college, I moved back home to my hometown, and I basically offered this one studio. I was like, please just let me teach, just let me do anything, let me sit in a class. I won't charge or anything like that. And this wonderful teacher let me come into her studio. She was actually the studio owner, and she let me assist ballet for a year with like 9 to 11-year-olds. And it won over my heart, but it also let me know I don't want to work in a studio, and I don't want to be like a typical dance teacher in a studio, and I want to take a different approach that feels more like me. But one thing that I always wanted to do was compete in a competition, and I shamelessly loved the show Dance Moms. No, I don't agree with all the moms and their tactics and their drama, and I don't agree with how Abby treats the children or treats anybody with any kind of disrespect or rudeness, borderlining on emotional abuse, psychological abuse, things like that. But I was so inspired by her skill set, but more so inspired by all of these beautiful little children that were working their freaking tiny butts off with so much passion, and they were just so amazing. Like, I remember being in college and being like, oh my God, I could never dance like this 7-year-old. So I made it my goal to be like, I'm gonna be able to do some of these tricks and turns that these girls on Dance Moms do. And that's how I learned to dance. Like, I am not ashamed to say that I learned most of my dancing, aside from taking class and teaching, from literally watching the girls on Dance Moms and emulating what they did using my own technique and trying to learn their tricks. So I loved that show when it was around, and it inspired me so much to share stories through contemporary dance. And I choreographed my first group piece alongside my best friend Kaylee when I was in college, and that felt amazing and it went amazing. But it inspired me that I would love for there to be more dance competitions that are so open that they allow for anybody to compete. Like, I had a friend in college that never thought she could dance because she was in a wheelchair, and she considered herself crippled to this wheelchair. And she danced, and she developed grace, and she learned how to use her arms beautifully, and she learned how to dance and express herself. And I think that should inspire all of you guys, that you can all do this. And I would love for there to be dance competitions where people like her could compete in these competitions and feel like they are a dancer as well, and that they have a place in the dance community. And I know there are competitions like that going on, but I would love to found one that is all-inclusive like that. I would love to just adjudicate lots of dance competitions. I love watching dance. I love watching performers, whether they are professional, whether it is their first dance class, whether it is their first solo, whether they have performed for 30 years or they're a seasoned vet. Like, I love all dancing. I am so passionate about watching it, especially dancing, myself, teaching. There's some cats scratching around in the background, sorry. And just one that would embrace people of all ages. Like, I think it would be awesome to go to a dance competition. I know that it would take so many hours. Dance competitions take a long time as it is. But, like, split it up over 3 days. You can have people dancing from literally 3 years to like 90 years old. How inspiring would it be to see a freaking 90-year-old like ballroom couple come onto the stage and do a beautiful ballroom routine as a regular thing at dance competitions. Or like people like me who at 28 years old have never competed at a dance competition but just want that moment to feel like they are on stage dancing a solo for the first time. Just to have that experience. Doesn't matter whether you come first or you don't even place, but just to have a dance competition circuit that is all inclusive, that embraces everybody, I would absolutely love to be the founder of that. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but I just wanted to share that goal with the world and share that dream with the world and put it out there. So yeah, that is it for this video. I'm literally losing my voice. I have talked it off, but I just want to remind you guys, as always, to be weird, be wild, and stay sparkly, and I will catch you guys in the next videos. Okay, goodbye, guys. Let's go anywhere. Say the